All right, let's get your business news now with Rupiwa Madzena. And Rupiwa, this is an issue you mentioned last hour. And it's a real concern about the so-called building mafia syndicates that are kind of moving in and telling contractors who they must employ, who they must pay, etc., etc. And it seems to have had a real repercussion in KwaZulu-Natal.
That's right. I mean, it has mushroomed in different parts of the entire country, but it looks like it's a huge issue in KZN in particular. So much so that Calgro M3, which is one of South Africa's JSE-listed property developers, has decided to exit KZN, pulling out of 2 projects there. The property developer claims that a construction mafia has been terrorizing its workers and contractors and preventing community development in areas like KwaMashu. But who will buy it? And why has the KZN government not worked to remedy the crisis that Calgro M3 says has plagued the construction industry for a while now? We've got Siboniso Duma. He's the MEC for Economic Development and Tourism and Environment in the province, who will hopefully join us shortly to speak. I understand that he is ready. Good evening, MEC, and thank you very much for joining us this evening. Let's maybe start by your perspective on the current situation when it comes to the construction mafia in KZN, areas like KwaMashu, for example. We spoke to the Deputy Mayor earlier on, Philani Mavundla, and he said he was surprised at the allegations or the pulling out of the property developer Calgro M3 because they were being terrorized, or their workers rather. What has your assessment been of the situation?
Good evening to you and to your viewers at home. Indeed, it's a critical matter as the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Each time when we start with this process, we must just condemn with the highest contempt it deserves, because KwaZulu-Natal as a province, I think we've just suffered from COVID-19, as you all know, the July unrest and the issue of floods. So it means that we need more investors, we need more business. And as a province, we've got a nice policy of ensuring that all our people must participate in the processes. So we don't promote anyone to disturb and to destroy the infrastructure. I think our people are busy on the ground ensuring that we are trying to negotiate with all the stakeholders, in particular ensuring that let us entitle those business, and in particular that business person that don't live KwaZulu-Natal, we can still salvage these issues. Although we must indicate the issue of South African Police Service is a serious stakeholder that must perform the issue of law enforcement, because if you are saying the construction mafia, that's a criminal activities, SARS must arrest with immediate effect.
Have you had engagements with stakeholders like SAPS? Because I'm sure you would be aware, or you would have heard various stories over the last while of the terrorizing of communities on construction sites. So have you had engagements with law enforcement agencies in the province to perhaps monitor the situation at construction sites in particular?
I'm sure you know, we just took a proactive resolution of engaging and make sure that these are registered properly as a business forum, because there were some activities they were taking place in local government in different municipalities. You'll find that a certain project will be disturbed at Uku District Municipality. You engage those guys who are aggrieved. Then when you're done with those, it will emerge or submerge somewhere in a table. We then called a forum where we are going to engage almost all of them, which is why this is the new phenomenon of coming with construction mafia. And we are saying that as government, it is not possible, because there is 30% police. There is the issue of subcontract, that all those with proper skills, technical acumen, must be subcontract, and they can even engage on a process of tendering as individual companies, be assisted by government as well. So I think we're still hopeful that as the province, this process will die at some point in time, because we are the province that believes in engagement, and we know the issue of economic outlook is totally dependent on this department in ensuring that we deal with and engage with all the stakeholders.
And you have indicated quite importantly that there is a housing development shortage at the moment, not only because of the floods and the unrest, but KZN has struggled for a number of years when it comes to this problem. So have you engaged companies like Calgro M3? And if you haven't, what is it that you would say to them to convince them to remain on and finish the projects that they have started, which are substantial projects if we're honest?
We've just dispatched our team just to meet with the leadership of Calgro. And where we are seated, it's a matter of principle that all our teams must make sure that they promote and they must also protect those who are busy with government projects, because the construction industry has also suffered because of the economic outlook and since the issue of 2008. So I think we are busy and we are not going to share almost all the details. And at the right time, we are just going to manage the process and just announce that we have reached a consensus. And on the other hand, we are dealing with those criminal activities. That is why we have met with SAP. In fact, even the provincial commissioner has just endorsed the process that let us meet on a regular basis so that it becomes easy when the process starts, then the SAPs are involved, because they have just started. Some of the cases have been opened, but the process, some of the issues lie with the issue of judiciary.
Finally, MEC, just to reflect on the interview that was done by the Deputy Mayor earlier on, he indicated that businesses, including this one that we've been speaking of, didn't engage the provincial government when it was going into these communities, and it kind of just did business its own way. Is that a situation that you've been exposed to, in that there's no engagement between business and the provincial government? Hence, you'd see situations or complaints of this nature, or have you had a different experience?
I wouldn't want to create a false alarm. I think it might be his personal experience. Where we are seated, there is a healthy relationship between us and service providers. I think we must be clear on that one. And the Tegwini municipality, you know, that is our municipality. We deal close with those. So I don't think that's a true reflection. There is a nice and ongoing experiment of us working close with them, and will continue as such in ensuring that we assist them, because we also promote the province of KwaZulu-Natal as the viable, and as government we are creating the stability in ensuring that there is enhancements so that all the investors will feel nicely that you can still invest in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. So that is our experience, and I wouldn't want to blow this thing out of proportion. There are a lot of projects that are currently happening. We are doing human settlements. There are a lot of projects in the Tegwini, in Ilembe district, at Ugu, and all other local municipalities that we have in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. So it is just an isolated incident, and we are going to deal with it.
Isolated but significant, MEC. But I appreciate your time this evening. That is MEC Siboniso Duma for Economic Development, Tourism and Environment in the province of KZN, saying that they will engage investors, and they're, of course, trying to beef up law enforcement in these communities to protect those who are busy in that sector. Here's a